Ashley from Through the Loop Yarncraft, and today I'm back and we are going to learn to make the Willowmere Baby Blanket. This blanket is designed to be soft, warm, and super cozy, especially for those babies that will be born this fall and winter. We are going to be using the Scarfy yarn in this tutorial, but any number 5 bulky weight yarn will work. Of course, I picked my favorite, the mint and silver colorway. I'm also using a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. And of course, you'll need scissors, yarn needle, and your tape measure if you want to keep track of the finished size. The baby blanket for this pattern is about 34 by 34 inches before blocking. It is an easily adjustable pattern, so you can make it any size that you would like. We're going to be using double crochet and variation of double crochets to get the little bit of texture and a bit of pattern variation with the crossed double crochets. So if we're ready, let's get started and make the Willowmere Baby Blanket. All right, so now we are ready to get started on the baby blanket. We're going to use a foundation row with a total of 76 stitches. I opted to use the foundation double crochet stitch, but if you don't want to do that, you can also chain 78 and make 76 double crochets across. This got me to my 34 inches, so you can do more or less if you prefer. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a miniature version just to show you how it goes. So we're going to start with our foundation double crochet row. And then you can do it like this again, or you can opt to do a regular chain 78 and then 76 double crochets across. I like the foundation rows because they tend to be nice and even. If you're not familiar with them, you can use the regular. So we're just going to double crochet that foundation chain for a total of 76. All right, so now you should have your 76 double crochets across for row 1. Obviously, it's going to be much longer than mine here, which is just the mini version. And of course, you can do more or less depending on what size blanket you would like. Moving forward, your chain 2 or your chain 3 at the beginning of each row will count as a stitch. So now we're going to move on to row 2. So for the end of row 1, we're going to chain 3 and turn. Again, that chain 3 is going to count as a stitch. And now we're going to cross double crochet across the whole row. So we're going to begin by skipping 1 stitch. Now this is where it might get a bit confusing. Because this counts as our first stitch, this space is technically used. So we're actually going to look like we're skipping 2 stitches, but we're only skipping 1. So we're going to skip this next stitch and double crochet into the next. And then we're going to double crochet into the skipped stitch. So just do a regular double crochet, but going back into that skipped stitch. And that is your crossed double crochet. So we're just going to continue that along. Be careful as you're moving across and don't count this stitch as your skip stitch because the first double crochet you did was in that one. So this is your next stitch, and then we're going to double crochet into the one after that. Double crochet, and then we're going to go back into the skipped stitch. And then just repeat that all the way along. So skip the next stitch, double crochet, and then double crochet into the skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across until there is one stitch remaining at the end of your row. And if you're doing exact as the pattern, starting with your 76 double crochets in row 1, you'll end up with 76 total double crochets. So here I am at the end of our second row, and we're just going to do one double crochet into that last stitch, which will be your chain stitch throughout. And we're ready for row 3. We're going to again chain 3 and turn. Row 3, we're going to do another row of the crossed double crochets, and we'll do it just the same way. So we're going to skip the first stitch, remembering this one with the chain doesn't count, and double crochet into the next. And then double crocheting into the skipped stitch. So repeat the same thing all the way across, again for a total of 76 stitches, or whatever number you started with. And at the end of row 3, we're just going to do a double crochet again into that last stitch. Now row 4, 5, and 6 are going to be just double crochets. So for the end of row 3 and its repeats, I just did a chain 2. And now we are ready to begin 4, 5, and 6, which are all the exact same row all the way across. So again, this for row 4, 5, and 6, this chain will count as your first stitch. So you want to skip this first space there. And we're just going to double crochet all the way across for all 3 rows. So go ahead and crochet row 4, 5, and 6, all just regular double crochet. and I will meet you right back here. All right, so now that we are done row 6, we're just going to do one more row of double crochet, but at the end of row 7, we're going to do a chain 3 instead of a chain 2 because we're going to go back into the crossed double crochets. So we'll do one more row of straight double crochet across. All right, so now we can see our repeat pattern. We're going to do the 2 rows of the cross double crochet and then 4 rows of just double crochet. So now that we're done the repeat section, we'll go back, do 2 more rows of cross double crochet and then another 4 rows of double crochet. For the 34-inch blanket that I was going for, that took me a total of 46 rows, but you can stop when you get your desired size. To keep the repeats and the pattern symmetrical, you'll want to stop once you get to a repeat of the crossed double crochet, and then just do 1 row of double crochet to finish it off, just as we started, 1 row of double crochet, so it'll be the same on both ends of the blanket. So finish that up and I will meet you right back here. And welcome back. So as you can see, when I finished off the end of my blanket, I did the 2 rows of the cross double crochet and then finished with just 1 single row of the double crochet there, and that keeps it symmetrical with the opposite end of the blanket because we started with 1 row and then 2. And that's all there is to it. A very basic, quick, and easy pattern, but will make a very snuggly accessory for that little baby. This one specifically will be going to my new niece who will be born this September of 2023, and I hope she will just love it. While you're here, and if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and let me know that you enjoyed it. You can also find more Through the Loop Yarn Craft over on my blog and subscribe to the Loop newsletter to stay up to date of all new patterns and news. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy making the Willowmere blanket, and I can't wait to crochet with you next time.